Awesome. Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to the premiere of TTRPG's latest 5th edition campaign, Besieged by the Dead. Tonight, in episode 1, Where the Falcon Fell, we'll be venturing through the mists of Ravenloft to the realm of Falkovnia, where no one is safe from the roaming hordes of the risen dead. But first, let's meet our fonts of light in this dreary world. We'll start with someone who fans of TTRPG should be familiar with. Nikki, will you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I am Nikki. I'm co-creator here at TTRPG. I am an educator, streamer, LGBTQ advocate for teachers, disability advocate for teachers. And on Friday nights, you can catch me on Weave the Tale in their Chew tabletop role-playing game series that's going on right now.
Awesome. How about Miguel?
Hi everyone, I'm Miguel. Pronouns are he, him. I'm a TTRPG hobbyist enthusiast, do a lot of GMing, etc. at home, and have been streaming a lot lately. TTRPG is very exciting. You can catch me here doing this on Saturdays.
Awesome. And how about Izzy?
Hello, I'm Izzy. I'm Izzy. And totally forgot what I was going to say there, so I decided to say that again in case you missed it the first time. Pronoun she, they. I do like boring marketing work during the day. It's not really that exciting. And then TTRPG stuff at night. You can catch me here on Saturdays for the next couple of weeks, or Wednesdays in the podcast Pod Against the Machine on, your podcast places, your Apples, your Spotifys, your et cetera, et cetera. That's plenty for me. Thank you all for joining. Goodbye.
Excellent, thank you. How about Dare?
Hi, I'm Dare. I any pronouns. I'm playing Lotus, they, she, and I am everywhere at all times on the internet. I'm simply logged in too much. You can find me, of course, here. You can find me on RF Chaos Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. EST. And you can also find me on Transplaner for the finale of the Hounds of Mercy miniseries this Tuesday. And yeah, that's it for me for now.
Nice. And Austin.
Hey everybody, I'm Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. You can find me on Twitter at Taylor Scott Austin. It's at Taylor SCT Austin. Besides that, you can start catch me Mondays on French Rule Dice playing Mind of the Martyr at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can find me every Wednesday over on my podcast, Secret Season Nerd Mysteries, wherever you get podcasts. That's it. Let's Dungeon a Dragon.
Hell yeah, we're gonna dungeon so many dragons. Actually, probably not. Cool. My little introduction. My name is Ellis. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns. I've been writing, designing, and editing TTRPGs for a few years now. You can find me here on Saturdays, DMing this game for these wonderful people and for all of you. So now, I hope you're all prepared to walk with us in the darkness of a realm besieged by the dead. We open on a plain of white, smudged with the light and shadows of a dense, creeping mist. It's cool on our skin as we pass through it towards some unknowable light source. In the distance, we see the fuzzy silhouette of someone shuffling away from us, and then another, and another. The smell of corpse rot reaches us before the moans of the undead. What began as a few stragglers in the mist becomes an entire horde of shambling dead. They pay us no mind as we press through them, elbowing and pushing, struggling until we break free into a barren grassland where the mist thins to reveal a city along a riverbank. We sweep down the sun-bleached plain and across the river to rise up and over the city's thick stone walls, tucking between two soldiers standing watch and down to the cramped cobblestone streets of the capital city of Lecker. Now, to start us out, will all of you roll initiative? We are currently running our game in D&D Beyond using all of their combat tracking things. Okay, let's see. We got Dora healing. Perfect. Okay. So it looks like we'll be starting with Lotus. So, check my notes real quick. We are in a dilapidated boathouse on the shore of the River Ward's Vulchar River as a tabaxi seemingly out of nowhere pops into reality, hidden amongst some crates, boxes, things like that, various tack for fishing. And Dare, would you describe Lotus for us?
Of course. Imagine, if you will, a hairless cat. A little similar to like Beerus from Dragon Ball in terms of like the ears stand up a little bit, a little purpley. Wearing just some nice big cloaks just to help keep themselves warm. And they just have their hood up and they have a pretty jovial energy to them. There's probably a little bit of skipping just as they walked into here because it's a new adventure.
Excellent. And Lotus, the thing about arriving in Lecker is that you truly have no idea how you've got here. What were you doing prior to sort of stepping suddenly into this realm?
Probably just looking at things, maybe guiding something, probably guiding somebody. It's an excuse just to look at the world around me. It's really nice.
Excellent. So, speaking of wonderful, nice worlds, from where you are hidden among these crates, you see a human woman, pale, dressed in the sort of tattered remains of a widow's mourning dress and veil. She is currently tying up what seems to be some sort of large bundle with a rope. Where you are, the boathouse is open to the river beyond. Like there's just no wall on that side, and there's like some short docks that lead out from it. There's no boats there of any size. And as she sort of finishes tying up this large, like medium-sized bundle, the rope, she secures that rope to a hook on the building, essentially securing the rope with like a sailor's knot. Do you approach her at all, or are you just watching and waiting?
Do I have scary?
You have some pretty spooky vibes. You're not sure if it's particularly threatening so much as it is just creepy. You notice watching her as she's been doing this, her hands are stained with dirt, essentially. Like her fingertips are raw. She doesn't have she has nails, but she doesn't have like long nails at all. And go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perfect. I'm curious if I have my gift here as well or not yet.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, then I will probably defer and ask Scary.
Sure. And can you describe your dark gift for everyone?
Yeah. So my dark gift is symbiotic being, and I have just on the small of my back, kind of in a spot I can't reach, this scarab-shaped little like scar, like almost like a bug bite or something. That's just there. It's not a problem. Doesn't hurt, but it has a voice. And I can just sort of talk to it, and I just like lean over, like, hey, Scary. Can you see what I see? Because like I want to help, but I don't know if she's gonna be cool. She seems a little focused.
With your 22 in perception, Scary's voice kind of comes into your mind. They share senses with you, beings, symbiotic. And they say, Lotus, look towards the wall there. And your eyes are drawn to what seems to be an old metal spade, a shovel of a length with kind of just an average like humanoid height, and the for lack of a better word, blade of it seems to have been sharpened to the point of being able to be used as a weapon. You think that it would most likely, obviously, still be able to be used as a spade, but someone clearly regularly sharpens this to keep it sharp and threatening. And while you're watching this, Scary says, certainly focused, perhaps not concerned with us, though maybe only time will reveal more. And as you're watching and you hear Scary's voice in your head, the woman sort of she doesn't look particularly like malnourished, but just kind of naturally thin, and she kind of drags the bundle a bit and then like pushes it into the river. And watching the rope that is secured to it, you can tell that the bundle drifts only a little bit with the current.
I think I'm going to go and say hi and help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you are approaching just kind of openly, no like stealth or anything like that.
I'm just going to go, hi.
As you step out of this area, you realize that this place that you sort of just appeared in, the area that you were in within this boathouse, there's no windows or doors. The corner that you were in, tucked in with the crates, there's no way for you to have sort of just like wandered into that part of the boathouse, so you sort of just appear almost out of nowhere. And you say hi, and she turns and looks at you with wide eyes that they're not supernaturally red, but they're red from dryness, as if she has not blinked in a very long time. And she looks at you and she says, "Who are you? Where did you come from?"
Oh, hi. So my name is Lotus Flower and Bloom. Me and my friend Scary are, we kind of were walking. Just, I don't really know where I am. I'll be honest, but I saw you were doing some work, and you could maybe use help.
At the strangely enough, when you say help, her demeanor kind of shifts almost unexpectedly from someone who is alert and worried to just like, oh yeah, actually. And she says, oh, it's rare that I get help, especially out here in the river ward. Yes, I was just I was fishing, and she gestures to another bundle of the same shape and size, and she gestures to it. There's some rope by it, kind of just like, if you could help me, that would be wonderful.
Sure.
You're as you sort of mimic what you saw her doing before, tying, securing the bundle, preparing to secure it to a hook on the boathouse. Give me a perception check. Nice. You're as both as someone who guides people through potentially dangerous areas, and sort of just as a naturalist who spends a lot of time out in the wild. You are not completely unfamiliar with the smell of rotting flesh. As you kneel down and are securing this bundle, you are hit with this sort of rank, fleshy smell, rotten smell. And it's very easy for you to tell through the process of securing this with the rope that a humanoid of some type, who has been dead for a while now, is wrapped up in this bundle.
I turn towards the woman. What did I get your name, by the way?
Ioana Petrescu. It's a pleasure to meet anyone who is willing to help me, really.
See, the thing is, it kind of seems like unless fish are really different here, I think that's a body.
She says, yes. She kind of smiles, and it's not a threatening smile, but it's very unsettling, the way that her face just sort of pulls back in this not rictus, not unnatural grin, but very wide grin. And she says, you've caught on to my little joke. Yes, I like to fish here at the river for any of the risen that try to cross over from the wilds. And go for it. No, go for it.
What are the risen?
She cocks her head. She says, the risen, they are the undead that walk all of Falkovnia.
I don't think I've ran into one of those yet.
You also would not be familiar with the name Falkovnia as a country that you have any idea about.
Yeah, I think Scary would tell me that part. It's like, oh, huh. What's Falkovnia?
She cocks her head again and then kind of gets that same smile, and she says, you're very different. You're not from Falkovnia, which is extremely rare. And then as she says that, the bundle in the water begins thrashing something down there, stirring up the water. And as that happens, we will jump to our next scene. Once I look at the initiative that I wrote down. Okay, perfect. Rain. Where were you just moments before going about your life?
Probably on a road, probably in a forest somewhere, trying to catch a nap.
Nice. You sit. You've kind of like laid out sort of a campsite type temporary area, lay down to sort of catch a nap in the midday sun, and you lay down. You sort of get your maybe like a bundle or something under your head, and kind of get that right, and you lay down. You close your eyes for a second to rest, and you remember that something that you needed to do. And when you open your eyes, you are looking at a completely unfamiliar sky. Gray, cloudy, a little drizzly, actually. And kind of disorientingly, you realize that you're also not laying at the angle you were. And as you look around, you realize that you are laying on a steepled, not very steep, certainly of an angle that you can comfortably lay on, slightly angled, shingled roof, perhaps 3 stories up. And all around you is this old stone and wood city situated on a river. It stretches much further east and south, and you realize you're probably in sort of like the northwestern section of the city, closest to the river.
But it doesn't look like a place I recognize. I'm familiar.
Correct.
Okay, I guess I gotta. She's like, I guess I should get off this roof. And I'll try. I'll probably just try and jump down.
As you stand up, look around. You're very well balanced. So you don't really have much issue with that. Can you give me a perception check?
Sure, I most certainly can do that. But will I do it? No, I'll do it.
Whew, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You and Lotus got exactly the same perception checks.
We be good at seeing stuff.
First off, you notice that the city is in kind of like a low fog up here at 3 stories or so height. You're not subjected to it, but it's kind of hard to see amongst the streets. And you hear 2 voices speaking very nearby, like probably down in a courtyard right next to the building that you're on the roof of. One of them is speaking kind of low, in more hushed tones. And you hear them talking about something about like talons and something to do with someone named Vladeska, you think, and focusing in more with that 22. I'll say that as you look down, you're able to get a good idea of sort of what these 2 people look like. One is a human man with where'd my there it is. Kind of a human man in long robes that have been reinforced with leather, like on top of them. Black hair shaved on the sides, the top's worn in a long ponytail. You notice almost weirdly as if absorbing light rather than reflecting it is a black loop pierced in his right ear. And he is, where's the chatting? And he's speaking with a, what seems to be a tiefling woman with kind of bright purplish skin and red hair. I would describe it as kind of like heavy armor on top, and then like lighter leather armor around her midriff and legs. She has a long, kind of like thick, like scaled almost tail, and the two of them are speaking. 1 second, let me make sure that I have the right thing here. Boop, boop, boop. And the two of them are standing kind of close, looking to either side, kind of scoping out the entrances into this courtyard as they speak in these hushed tones.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get off this roof and head over there.
Excellent. So you're able to climb down effortlessly. Can you describe Rain for us?
I most certainly can, and I will. Rain is like average height. So what are you average people? Like 5'5"? Is that an average? 5. Okay, so that's so 5'5" is good. Just 5'3" is short. Okay. So 5'5". She's dark skinned. She has like locks up with like an undercut. Has these like odd like blue eyes. And is dressed pretty like, if you think rogue, like tight black leather armor. Yeah, that's pretty much her.
Awesome. And is there anything strange or unusual about the way she climbs down so effortlessly down this 3-story building?
No, why would it be something weird?
No, I'm just curious if there's any details about it.
She climbs down like any normal person can easily climb down a 3-story building.
Okay.
The way I do every afternoon.
Yeah, like we all do with our climb speed that we have. As you come down into this mist, are you trying to be like stealthy at all, or are you just approaching them?
No, I'm just walking because no, she's not thinking that she should sneak up on these people. She's thinking, I need to figure out what's going on here. Please, right. I guess you could try something, but not advised.
As you approach, the tiefling has her back to you, and you see the man's eyes shift from the tiefling to looking at you. And as soon as they do, the tiefling whirls around, and with this kind of like large, like 2-handed battle axe that she has, she like essentially like points it at you, looking you in the eyes, and she says, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?"
You could take me to dinner first before you point things at me.
Roll a flat charisma.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. She doesn't lower her axe and doesn't take her eyes off you, but you see a small kind of like quirk at the edge of her lip.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I seem to be. I fell asleep in the woods. I woke up not in the woods. It's not the first weird thing that's happened to me, but it's top 10.
As you're saying all of this, now that you are down here at floor level, ground level, in the mists, you kind of notice that the mist here seems to cling to you in a way that it doesn't cling to these two, and it sort of moves over you like a caress. And the man kind of takes interest in this and steps forward, putting a hand on the axe and lowering it. And he says, "I think it's okay, Worthy. Something about them is..." "So you said that you just woke up here?" And he looks up. He says, "On the roof?"
Yeah, that is. I don't know if it's a house. I didn't break anything. I just woke up there, and again, I don't remember partying, but I could have been. If I did, I apologize.
If I did, I'm so sorry for party rocking. He nods and he says, "My name is Huan Ji. I think I have an idea of what might be happening here."
Right. You can call me Rain Brooks. And what? So, did somebody kidnapped, or what's this about?
In a way, not by either of us. Perhaps not really by anything.
Okay, but when you say it like that, I didn't suggest it was, but now I'm like, I didn't say either of you, but then the way you said that.
He smirks. He holds kind of just not a dismissive, but just kind of a relaxing hand. He says, "Not by either of us, but by something in this realm, something beyond our ken." And he kind of like gestures to the mist all around them. And when he does, you notice that the mist, not as hungrily as it sticks to you, it does stick to him in a way.
Oh, this is one of those quest type things, isn't it?
At the word quest, he smiles and he says, "You're from Faerun, aren't you?"
Yeah, fuck me. Okay, so I have to find some king or something and kill him or whatever it is people do.
Worthy looks at Juan kind of like almost surprised when you say that, and he shrugs and he says, "I didn't bring them here. I wasn't planning this, but..."
Oh wait, so you can bring people here?
No, I can't, which is why I did it.
You should work on the welcome pitch. I don't know, get a brochure or something.
He says, "I actually have a plan you might be interested in. My friend here and I are planning to kill the lord of this place."
Lovely. I guess point me in a direction. I'm famished.
So as you say that, we'll cut over to the next scene. Let's see. So Lotus, Rain, Rogelio.
How about that?
So what have you been up to today in your regular life?
Yeah, absolutely. So for Rogelio, it's an errands day. You know, he's running around various places in the gate, Baldur's Gate. You know, um, there are a few shops and such that he has invested in recently. You know, he's getting towards retirement age, so he's really thinking about what he's going to do when he's not stabbing people for a living, right? Um, Part of his errands is also uh, picking up protection money, you know, making the rounds, making sure people know, even though El Lobo Dorado, as he's called, the Golden Wolf, is getting up in years. His fangs are still sharp, etc. So he's dressed in his what he calls his going out clothes, right? Um, Sort of a black suit type thing, like black pants and coat with these like gold kind of like matador outfit style trim, you know, all throughout with two wolf logos on each shoulder as well. And he's not wearing it, but he's got sort of like a really stylized wolf mask too that he wears when he fights. He doesn't want to protect his face. It's total like Vega from Street Fighter situation, right? He's
Right.
very vain and he wants to make sure that all of this stays the way it is.
Hell yeah.
So I believe he'd be exiting the Pastelitos, a cake shop that he's just invested in. He was talking up the Tabaxi baker, Tres Leches, about what their menu is going to be, et cetera, et cetera. And he's just like literally coming out. You know, he's got like maybe like a little bag or something full of cupcakes that he's bringing back to Isadora. He's just walking right out the door.
Excellent. Yeah. As you walk out this door into Baldur's Gate, the gate is a very cramped, kind of claustrophobic city. It historically has very narrow streets, to the point that, you know, even like they don't permit like pack animals and such in the city. And as you are winding your way on your kind of usual path, you know the city very, very well. You turn and step into a city square that seems kind of unfamiliar, and thinking that you can't possibly be lost, certainly not in Baldur's Gate on a daily errand, or a regular errand anyway. You turn around to see where you've come from and are looking at a completely different street. And when you turn back around, it's that same kind of empty, almost, it feels abandoned, city square, layered in this fog, this mist that now as you're seeing it, it's almost, you're not sure how you couldn't have noticed it before, because it envelops everything, and it even seems to reach for you, move across you. And as you are trying to figure out like what just happened, whether maybe a old rival poisoned you at some point and you didn't notice, you know, what could this be? You hear a man yelling in fright, and he runs from another street across the market, running perpendicular to you, kind of across towards another opening, but trips and falls. And he tries to kind of like pick himself up. And across this marketplace or square, through this fog, it's daytime, but it's so, you know, it's so bleak through all of this fog. It's hard to see. From the place that he just ran out of, you see three kind of shambling humanoid figures sort of walking towards it, and you hear just sort of the they have undead in Faerun. Would Rogelio be familiar with them at all? Would he recognize like, oh yeah, definitely undead, or would he be unsure?
As I think as a like worshiper of Lathander, Rogelio would be familiar with like the concept of the undead. He's very much a city person, so he hasn't really left the gate, right? Most of his experience in his youth came from fighting other ruffians such as himself, right? So not firsthand, but he skimmed some of Isadora's cleric college texts and like, oh, that's what they look like. Gross. So he sees this and he's like, oh no, I don't know what this is, but I hate it.
Yeah, from where you are watching this, it's the figures are far enough from this man that he definitely has time to like get up and keep running, but you're very familiar with the state of just absolute fear that he's in. Even from here, you can hear his breathing. You watch the way that he's moving, and just automatically he's not going to get up in time. He's too panicked. He's shuffling back. He's kind of falling over himself a bit. You have time to intervene before they reach him.
And I do. Rogelio's a big softy at heart. He puts up a very tough demeanor, whatever. But the end of the day, he is, he's got this Robin Hood syndrome, right? Or he has to protect those less fortunate than himself. So he strides over, one hand just checks and makes sure his two rapiers are ready to go. As he's walking over, he like tightens the vest under his jacket, which is like red with like a classic like sun coming up over the meadows, like Lathander symbol just embedded in, or like stitched into it, He does also own a tailor, so he gets his own stuff made, right? The suit itself is actually his leather armor. It's just been like modified to look. He does. Like Tybalt from Romeo and Juliet. Anyway,
hell yeah.
He puts the wolf mask on, right? Like the golden and mask with like the red embellishments on it and stuff. And he says, "Stay there. Hold these." Hands him the cupcakes. Or he's like, "Hold these and stay behind me." He says as he pulls out both rapiers, I guess both from one side, and he's like, "This is gonna be gross."
The man sort of just like, when he first sees you come out of the fog, perhaps like some valiant hero rushing to his aid, perhaps like some grim shade come to finish him off. He lurches backwards like a little bit, but then sort of just not even, you don't even know if he like heard you per se, but you offer him the cupcakes and he just kind of out of confusion and fright, like takes them and then he just cowers behind you. As you sort of prepare yourself to fight these undead creatures, you get a much better view of them. They are definitely undead. Definitely previously humanoid. Just filling out some D&D Beyond stuff real quick. Definitely humanoid, and it seems to be like a kind of large, not like large, but still medium sized, but large. It's the word that I'm looking for. Almost, you think like elven, perhaps, in life. Kind of undead creature shambling towards you. The other is a undead dwarf and a human woman, and they don't really change in demeanor at all when they see you. Not the way that like fighters would, they don't, it's not like they square up. They don't tense up like an animal that's ready to, fight larger prey. They just keep shambling. You can tell that their eyes kind of shift to you, and they start sort of like approaching you. We're not going to worry. We're not going to worry about initiative. I'll just have you go, and then I'll go. So you can take a turn, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold my ground and wait for them to come to me. But as soon as one gets close enough, I would hope the dwarf, just because.
Sure.
Really good thing. I look at the dwarf, and I do kind of like, as I'm holding the rapier, I do kind of one of these. I'm like, come here, you walking mutton chop. I've got something for you.
And it sort of, and it comes within your reach. So go ahead and roll an attack.
Ooh, so yeah, I'm gonna start with my rapier, and then as a dual wielder, I'd probably try. Oh, I'd say nice. 20 unnatural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely hits.
It's like not great. 4 damage.
4 damage. For this intro scene, go ahead and just give me like a luck roll, just a flat 1d20.
Gotcha. You got it. That. Oh, sorry.
No worries.
10.
Perfect. Yeah. So, you did like 1 less damage than its max health. So I figured I would just, for the sake of moving things along, see if we can bump that up by 1. Yeah. Tell me how you dispatch this dwarf.
I go for the leg. I come down low. Which for Rogelio at 6'2" is not great. Is not easy. And his knees, right? They're not what they used to be. So he doesn't move as quick as he used to. He pretends he keeps up with his training, but really he like goes out for pizza. Yeah. But yeah, just come down and just like take the leg off at the knee, and then just like maybe like do a little flourish and like push him over.
Nice. Yeah, it slumps to the ground, kind of off to the side. Stops moving. Excuse me. So we'll say that was your reaction as kind of a readied attack when they moved in. The other 2 approach now and are going to attack. Oof, and they also got a 20 to hit. Wow. Not a natural 20, luckily. And they do this, the kind of like bigger, burly elf kind of like rakes a claw across you, dealing 2 damage. And then, okay. And then the human woman also gets a 20 to hit, modified, the exact same roll. That's wild. And she actually like grabs you and actually like bites into your shoulder for 5 damage. And now it is your turn.
I'm just angry from the bite. Like I just had this refitted, and this time I don't hold back. So I'm going to attack and then also use my bonus action to hit with my other one. So before I was like, this will be fine. Right. But let's see. I'm going to go for the human woman first and probably not hit with that 6.
Oof, yeah, that one's a miss. Go ahead and roll your next attack, and then we'll see how it goes.
That one is going to be the 19.
Okay, yeah, the second one definitely lands,
and then that's going to be 6 damage.
6 damage, perfect.
I'm going to go ahead and just action surge.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Go for the next one too.
Before you do that though. Damage. 1, I will point out, because it's so easy in D&D Beyond, I am rolling for every monster's health. So even if it's the same type of monster, just to let you all know, they may not have the same max HP.
I love that.
but luckily for you, this one had 6 HP. So you were able to dispatch her and then action surge to attack the big, bulky elf.
Gotcha. And that is a 14?
Yep, definitely is.
Alrighty. For whomping 6 as well.
6, perfect. Okay. 6 damage. Just real quick, rather than just narrating point to point, I'll roll another attack for this guy. What the? That's the 17 again. What the hell? Okay.
That's gonna hit.
That's bizarre. And that does 5 damage. How you looking?
Not great.
Sure.
Feeling not so good, actually.
As you are able to sort of like shove the human woman off and dispatch her, they were already so like close in on you. The elf the big bulky elf is able to sort of like claw you across the back. Excuse me. Go ahead and roll me one more attack roll.
Got it. And that'll be 21.
Perfect. Yeah,
that definitely hits. 8 points of damage.
Excellent. So with this next attack, it only had 2 HP left, but with this attack, the 8, you do its max HP in damage. So tell me how you finish off this elf.
I whip around and then just go like straight in with the rapier into the chest, and then like bring my leg up and then like kick it, like so like it's like I'm peeling it off like a piece of meat coming off of a kebab, and just like to the ground. And I take both of my swords and start cleaning them on my red. I have like a red sash that I wear. And I'm just like,
hell yeah.
It's not coming out.
As you do that, I need to do this in actually 1 second. Let me make some rolls real quick. But as you are doing that, the man who you saved is still on the ground behind you, and kind of regards you like almost with amazement. And when you as you clean off your blades on your red scarf, it draws his attention to it, and he sees, as soon as he sees that like red on you, he sort of not like, it doesn't like baseball chuck, but like tosses the like cupcakes to the ground. He's still prone, so it's not like a long fall or anything, but he tosses those, scurries back and starts to like stand up, and he says, I won't go back to your fucking siege, you bastards. And he starts to stand up, and he turns, keeps running kind of in the direction that he was before. But as you see this kind of weird interaction, and he starts running, you hear something behind you as the dwarf
come on, man,
stands up, and then you hear the same from the human woman, and they turn, and as you are kind of stock still, like looking at the camera as you hear that sound behind you, we will cut over to the next scene. Gotta close some windows so I can see stuff. Cool. So in what looks like long abandoned, musty, cobweb and dust covered shop. It seems like maybe it used to be a butcher shop, but there's no meet here or anything, but long abandoned. No, not many signs of trespassing beyond maybe like some rodents. We see two children, one of them human, one tiefling, both girls. They look like they're probably sisters, huddling kind of in a corner of this room, watching the windows, watching the door, holding tight to each other. The tiefling girl looks a little bit older, and so she's kind of like a little more protective of her sister. They're watching the front door of the shop. Through the windows, we see that same kind of mist and fog. We hear what sounds like maybe someone fighting, maybe the sounds of the Risen, someone fighting the Risen, maybe just beyond the door. And then to our left behind us, from an interior door, it swings open, and confused, very clearly, this is not where they expected to arrive when opening this door. We see a grown tiefling. Jubilee, can you describe your character for us?
Yeah. So initially, when I was putting Jubilee together, I thought, you go to an amusement park, Six Flags, if you will, TM. And you get those like big bags of cotton candy, that are like toddler sized. And by toddler sized, I mean the size of a toddler. And it's like pink, purple, blue. If that cotton candy bag was turned into a tiefling, that would be Jubilee. So like kind of like a violet, lavender skin. She has just a huge, huge mass of, I just want you all to know that Austin, my good friend Austin, is shading me in the private chat as per usual. Just a huge mass of like curly pink hair, really tight coils, and like, and cotton candy pink. And then all of her features are like a baby blue. So like she has blue eyes, blue freckles. I don't know what other features people have.
Sure.
Nose is skin colored. So anyway. And yeah, no, she is, I would say just slightly shorter than average for human female, which is 5 feet.
Excellent. Yes. Very clearly, slightly shorter than average.
Very clearly.
Yeah, Jubilee, you were somewhere else. You were in a completely different building. You stepped through this door into this strange, did these people just have a weird abandoned butcher shop that they connected to it? And when you turn around, there's just like what clearly leads into the like back room of this same building, which is not at all where you just came from. And you realize, when you walked into this room, did you hear something? Like a squeak? Like maybe a yelp of fright? And you, orienting yourself, looking into the corner, you see the two girls, and the older like tiefling girl, still probably maybe like 10, kind of like positions herself between you and her sister, and they're just sort of watching you wide-eyed.
So yeah, Juby bursts into this room and is immediately just, what the, oh my God, Jubes, you can't keep doing this. I keep telling you, you cannot just rush into other rooms and potties. That's how people get lost. And then as soon as she becomes aware of like that other sound behind, like turns around with one hand kind of automatically going to one of the two short swords across her back. It's like, just so you know, I know. And then sees the kids. It's like, hi, and her whole demeanor changes, and she goes from like this kind of confused and what happens to, are you alone here? What's going on? Are you okay?
Um, we're and the older tiefling sister still very clearly like physically like defying you to come near her sister, sort of like gets tongue-tied and like caught up and can't really address you. And from behind her, the human sister kind of like pokes a head up over her shoulder and trepidatiously, but not quite as frightened, says, we were with our father. Who are you?
Can I hear that? Like, I can hear like fighting outside.
Yeah, I would say at this point you can hear it, and it sounds like someone just like dispatched 3 people.
Okay. She will look over her shoulder at the door and then kind of back to the kids. Take her hand off this short sword and like just sit down cross-legged. She'll leave enough room like between her and the kids to like not freak them out. She's like, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Jubilee. You can call me Juby. Some people call me Auntie Juby. That's not true, but I think you and we could get it started right here. So if you want, that's just an option. I'm just saying. What are your names? And are you alone here?"
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, I'll take it.
They both kind of like as a unit almost, keeping the older sister between you and the younger sister, kind of like move along the wall, keeping an eye on you to the window. And the little sister turns and kind of like pokes her head out, looking at it, looking out. And she says, I don't see father. I don't know what's going on out there. And the older sister, still looking at you, says, quiet, Yetta.
Okay. I'm going to say, let's see. So she, again, won't move back toward the kids, but will circle around, also look out the window. And before she does, be like, all right, so I got a plan. Normally I'm not great at these, but today something tells me this is special. And let's see, kind of crouches down, looks back into the younger one, just holds out a hand, like, again, being very careful to give them space. I want to use I think it's like once a day. Yeah, it's going to be once a day. We're doing it. My thaumaturgy for a small wonder or minor wonder, small supernatural power, and just create like a pink and purple flower, like in her hand, and like hand it to the little one. Be like, you watch this for me. It's very important. All right, just hang on to that. And turn to the other one. Does she look old enough to potentially handle a weapon?
No, not at all.
Great. Okay. So like, okay, you two watch over this. I'm just going to peek outside the window right here. I'm going to find your dad. What does he look like? Is he like a tall, 5'3", 5'4" situation?
Is he a giant, maybe like 5'6"? Yetta, the younger human sister, kind of like reaches like under her sister's arm, who is still just like, nah, fuck you. And like takes the flower and just kind of like looks at it, appreciates it. And as you look out look outside, roll me a perception check.
Perception. I'll take it. Okay. So far, so good.
Nice. Yeah. So you, looking out, you see a what looks like a human man standing, wipes 2 blades on his sash, and another human man kind of runs off in the other direction. And as the fighter looks pretty badly hurt, and on the ground, kind of behind him, he's facing away from them, are 3 other humanoids. And you watch as they're very clearly like dead. But you watch as 2 of them kind of like shakily stand up and start like lurching towards him.
Okay, cool. Jubilee turns back toward the kid and she's like, all right, don't try this at home, but if you want to see something cool, watch out the window very carefully. And I want, let's see. So she's going to use her blade song. Can I flavorfully like smash a window and get out? Or are we going to, how do we feel about that as a move action?
I will say 100% you absolutely can. I will point out there is an unlocked door. But you're more than welcome to smash through the window.
No, that's part of the cool. Yeah, uncool people, they used unlocked doors. Cool people, as long as they're being safe, don't touch the broken glass. Don't touch that. Yeah. Always, you know what? I'll show you how to break the window safely later. Right now, stay hidden, but also watch because it's cool. Smash that and like jump through the window, and try and make her way toward this human man.
Excellent. Boop, boop, boop. 1 second. Oops. Sorry, just gonna check something. You burst through this window, and as you do, the like undead like swivel their heads towards you, and now outside you can very clearly see like, yeah, no, these are bodies that like have some like rot and decay to them, and they both sort of like shuffle like towards you. Give me, for the sake of a time, just give me a, unless you have like a big spell or anything you want to do, I'll say just give me like a luck roll to see how you're able to deal with these 2.
No big spell. She will use her green flame blade cantrip, assuming she like hits.
Yeah.
Just to a little extra damage for that second guy because they're standing next to each other. You said luck, right?
Yeah, so just a flat D20. Oh, where's my thing?
That's an 18.
Whoo! Describe how with this green flame blade you are able to dispatch these 2 undead.
Nice. So first, she's burst through this window. She's going to, just like the little girl inside the building, will like place themselves between the bad dead things and the man, and then look back over her shoulder to see like how far the window. Does it look like there's like earshot if she's can the kids hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna be like, "Don't say this word." Fuck yes. And as these things come toward her, and then reach over both shoulders, grab both short swords, and just kind of like cross her arms and do the really hip sword thingy. And then says something as she's swinging. So both short swords are temporarily alight with like bright green fire that, you know, just for the sake of story, technically deal a little extra damage just to the second one, but again, flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I imagine this like fire spreads down the swords into their bodies as they fall. And she's like, I love doing this. I tell you, you know, sometimes you burst through a door and it's strange, but sometimes you get to kill some bad guys.
Green flame blade, does that specifically deal fire type damage?
Yes, to the second. Oh, actually, let me double check that. But I believe it's technically only one of the targets should be. But let me check. Green flame blade. Yes, 3 fire damage to the second target. Oh, no, they're both fire damage. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Perfect. Yeah, you hit them with this fire, and you've used this spell before. You kind of understand its intricacies and just like the limitations of its power. These two people, two undead, go up like lights and stumble back, and in this kind of like flash flame, all that's left are like their charred remains. And Rogelio, you watch as Jubilee bursts out of this shop and dispatches these two with this green flame. Is there anything you want to say before we cut away to our next scene?
I just kind of look at Jubilee's, the whole like flame, and then I look at my swords, which do not have flames that come out of them. And I need one of those.
Perfect.
And I just say, hey, thank you. That was real cool.
So,
which Jubilee will not say anything because, again, cutscene. She will give a very conspicuous wink.
Perfect. And on that wink, we snap over to what, by all appearances, seems to be a elven princess who is in a kind of dimly lit by candlelight, perhaps some like arcane light globes in this study. And Isadora, would you like to describe your character for us?
Yeah, so Isadora is sitting in this very plush bay window with lots of cushions, reading from a giant metal text that's sitting on her lap. She looks like this, and like fully is wearing a tiara, and violet eyes, dark hair, big elf ears. Very young looking, probably in her 40s, but young for an elf, and is, she's just sitting there reading her big religious tome at the moment.
Excellent. You hear a knock at the door to the study, and as you get up, thinking that your bodyguard, nanny, maybe perhaps best friend in the world, Rogelio, has come home at last with your cupcakes. You get up and you open the door, and all that is beyond it is just a thick, impenetrable fog.
Rogelio?
As you call out for him and get no response, the fog comes in rapidly and pulls you out the door.
She like has her giant tome, slams it shut as she's pulled, and hugs it to her chest.
You come first, not into Lecker, but into a field of that impenetrable fog. And you hear something large in the distance.
Isadora thinks to herself, like, oh no, 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 no. Daddy warned me about this. And thinks that she's been kidnapped.
It's going around. The fog sort of starts to almost like burn away. And you realize that you are looking at the crest of a hill, like just a simple, like, kind of grass hill. Beyond it, there's no sky per se, like it's just like overcast. And you hear that, and the ground shakes a bit. Give me a religion check.
16.
Nice. Okay. What crawls now up from beyond sort of the apex of this hill, you recognize as a ancient, extremely antiquated depiction of your god Lathander. It's like a long gone iconography of how people used to represent this god, known as the Sun Man. And it is essentially a thin humanoid figure with just a large featureless orb for a head. And have you ever seen one of those like fountain fixtures where the water comes up the top of an orb and then just sort of falls back down around it in waves? This thing's whole body has that kind of wave, but it's light, sort of coming down it, and it crawls up over the hill. And you hear in your mind, has Isadora ever had any visions or direct communications with Lathander before?
Maybe like at the nunnery, she probably had a couple while she was there, when she got in trouble and they would like put her in solitary confinement for being a spoiled brat. So probably when she had no one else to talk to.
Excellent. So you hear a very, very familiar voice, but it sounds tired and it sounds almost, you don't have like electronics in your world, but all of us would recognize it as almost like static. That kind of crackle. You hear that voice of Lathander, and it says, emanating from this figure, and it says, "Be careful, daughter. Where you're going, my light shines only so bright." And it reaches a hand for you, but not, you recognize it less as like something trying to grab you and like squeeze you or anything like that, and almost like someone reaching out a hand to try to catch someone else as they fall. And then you fall through the mist. And and you land, not hard, very softly. You land in what seems to be like a dead end alley in some city. You don't recognize it, the architecture style and material style, as like a Baldur's Gate kind of alley, this doesn't look like that type of architecture. And as you land, you're still like in the fog, but it's not nearly as dense as it was. Um, you can see up to kind of the overcast sky. Roll me a perception check.
15.
15, perfect. At the end of the alley, it's a pretty deep alley. You're probably, we'll say 30 feet from the main street, with a little bit of ways behind you before you hit a wall. You hear the sounds of dozens of shambling feet, shuffling feet, and moving slowly. And you hear just an awful noise of dozens of creatures just all
No.
shuffling in this distance.
Isadora gets up, casts prestidigitation because her bum is now muddy, and then priorities, and hearing this shambling and not seeing Rogelio anywhere, like peeks out, like tries to sneakily take a peek at what's happening in the street. And
Yes. Oh, go
ahead.
So the street runs perpendicular to the alley. You come to a corner, you peer out, and in the direction you peer out, you see just a massive crowd. I shouldn't say massive, a large crowd. It's not like thousands of people, but you see a large crowd shuffling down the street in your direction, not necessarily like at you, but just shuffling in that direction. And looking in the other direction, you see just a thoroughfare of this city without any obstruction or anyone in your way, in your path.
So as quietly as possible, I'm gonna turn around and go the other direction, away from these shamblers.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
10.
You step out into the street. Sorry, my throat's so dry. You step out into the street, and you get kind of a few steps towards the center, and hear a and one of the heads turns, not like they were already looking in your direction, but kind of like snaps to where you are, and then all of them snap to where you are.
I'm going to run.
Excellent. As you run, you hear just the horrible sound of a frenzied horde behind you, bare feet slapping on stone, all sort of just propelling their bodies forward, scrambling for you. You run a ways until you come out into a small kind of a square, an outcropping, wider than a street. Give me 2 rolls. The first one, give me Constitution.
13.
And then give me perception.
5.
Okay. Rain, you are kind of speaking with Juan and Worthy, and as you're having a conversation, very briefly trying to catch you up on Vladeska, this person that they mentioned, and their kind of like assassination plan. You very easily hear the sound of like dozens of people running in your direction, their bare feet slapping on the ground. You hear, and Juan snaps and looks in the direction, as does Worthy. Worthy like readies her axe, and in one of the streets that connects to this kind of like outcropping that you're standing in, you see a just resplendently dressed, beautiful young elven princess covered in sweat, holding a large tome, just run through the outcropping and just like continuing on through the street on the other side.
I think when the camera pans back to me, I'm like, is that Dora? Where's him?
Oh, that's right. We know each other.
Excellent.
I forgot about
Yes.
that.
Rain, as you watch Isadora run and you kind of like, Isadora? That is where we will cut to break.
All right.
Awesome. Welcome back to Besieged by the Dead. When last we left off, our adventurers had wound up teleported through the mists of Ravenloft in the city of Lecker in Falkovnia. We left Lotus, our Tabaxi ranger, in a boathouse with a strange woman fishing in the strangest way. And the wrapped up body that Joanna had thrown into the Volchar River just recently started where the line meets the water. You started getting these rough, like, water, like something is thrashing underneath the surface. And Lotus, you see Joanna's eyes widen, perhaps even more than they already are. And she says, oh, yes, all right, we've got some. And she runs over to where her line, which is like a full stout rope, is tied to the boathouse. And she starts pulling it in. And as it breaks the surface, you see, kind of like clutching onto it, are many undead like creatures, humanoid bodies, clutching at it, trying to like get into the kind of just like burlap sack essentially that it's in, to get at the body underneath. And she points to the spade, the very sharp spade that you saw earlier, and she says, "Oh, get that."
Okay. She just sort of grabs it.
As you take hold of this spade, it doesn't possess you. It doesn't have any sort of like necessarily like grip on you, but it makes you just feel ill, just wrong when you hold it. You immediately feel just sort of repulsed, but by it, in the sense that you just grabbed it and this feeling showed up, so you are pretty sure it's from this. But as a feeling, just a general sort of repulsion of something, and you're not sure what, but not really to a debilitating level of any kind. And and Joanna then like points to the undead, sort of like grabbing and clawing at this this body that she's pulled up. She says, "Oh, okay, there. Take care of those ones."
You just need me to like kill them?
She nods, and her massive smile returns.
I think she just like ponders for a second. Will they come like right back afterwards, or do they stay gone?
Is that head?
Ah, okay. Well, I could just probably use my weapons instead.
I don't want this thing.
Yeah, just kind of politely put it down. And I'll grab my quarterstaff. Why not? I'll use that.
Perfect. Yeah, they aren't really even like paying any attention to you or anything like that, so I won't make you roll attacks. As you start sort of just like one strike to the head, Joanna, now that she's like gotten it up onto the dock, she picks up the spade off the ground and just kind of gleefully goes about like systematically, like one by one, taking out all of these risen and clung to this thing. And when she's done, she gives kind of like a not a Joker maniacal laugh, but a earnestly happy laugh that in this situation is very unsettling. And she just kind of like, oh, okay, that's one. That's one.
One what?
One catch, and she gestures to your line from the wrapped up body that you tossed in.
Can I roll survival something to like hard numbers this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's better than it looked like for me.
Yeah. And what are you trying to do?
Just trying to pull up another line like easier without
okay.
less grabby hands.
Mm-hmm. So you're pulling up the other one?
Mm-hmm. I'm helping.
Yeah, that one, starts, you get that same kind of like roiling water, shaking water, and you pull it up, but it's heavy. It's like a lot. And with a 19, you're able to sort of get it up. And Joanna's eyes go from like very excited to like, oh fuck. As like latched onto this are many more risen than before. And as you're pulling them up, they kind of like ants building a bridge, more start climbing up from it and getting onto the dock. And Joanna kind of like takes her spade, puts it on her shovel, and she says, "Oh, time to go!" And she hikes up her like widow's mourning dress and just like bolts out of the boathouse.
Is the house like? Is this place okay to burn down?
She doesn't say anything. She's still just running.
Let me check my pack and see if I have anything that I might use to just burn this place on the way out. I have a tinderbox and I have a question.
Okay, hit me with it. That's a good sentence.
I have the spell Searing Smite. And I was wondering if I combine that with the act of like the oil in a tinderbox, if I could just maybe light this whole thing up.
Yeah, 100%. Can you link me to that spell?
Absolutely.
Just so I can get the vibe for it. It's a small like wooden building, it's kind of just like one room, wide open. Joanna is already like out of it and gone. Searing Smite, Player's Handbook. Cool. Yeah, simple enough. Yeah, you are able to sort of like douse this place in oil and Searing Smite this stuff to ignite a large flame. Excuse me. As you're like backing away from the water, and this horde starts coming up into the dock and coming into the boathouse, you light this flame, and they do nothing to sort of like preserve themselves. They don't try to avoid it. They just come running into this fire, and you notice that they burn very quickly. And as they're coming in, burning up, that many like individual like torches essentially start spreading this fire very quickly. they're starting to crumble and fall apart, and they can't like keep running all the way, but the fire is starting to burn very hot and very fast, and you're going to have to get out of here.
Yeah, no, I go try to find, how do you say her name one more time?
Joanna.
Joanna. Yeah, I'll go find Joanna.
You come out for the first time onto a street in Lecker, in this fog mist that is starting to kind of like burn away in the daylight sun as the overcast parts a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough that sort of that morning fog is starting to part. The city itself, as far as you can see here in the River Ward, is not much to look at. It seems to all be like collapsed and dilapidated, filthy. Not any signs of life anywhere. You have the burning boathouse behind you. It doesn't sound like any of the undead are getting out of it to follow you. And the fire starts to spread a bit, but most of this city is stone, so not too bad. And you're also like by the water. But you also immediately get the sense that like there's also no one around for this fire to threaten. So it just burns. You don't see Joanna anywhere. You can roll me a perception or survival if you want to look for her.
Rolling perception.
Perception. Boop, boop, boop. 13. I'm actually going to roll for her real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. You are a very talented, very familiar tracker. And in a city like this, that is abandoned to, filth and just dust and dirt, pretty easy to follow someone. You have no idea where this woman went.
Well, Scary, I think we should head to the city.
Yes, let's go into the city.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe we'll find something fun.
With your sort of like ranger's internal compass, you know that the rest of the city is south, and you start heading in that direction. And we will cut to Rain. Rain, you have just seen Isadora, someone you recognize from not this place, run through this tiny like outcropping that you're in, just looking horrified and like she's been running for a while. And instinctively, Juan takes your hand and just starts running in the direction that Isadora went, with Worthy like right behind you, as a large crowd of very clearly undead people sort of just like start to pour into this outcropping, just all just scrambling in that direction.
First, I kind of take my hand back as a room. Like, again, someone could get me dinner first if we're going to do this kind of thing. And I'm kind of like lightly jogging. I look back. So is that the deal? Is that the whole shtick? This king has like zombies? That's the thing here? That's your...
Juan's as Juan's running, he's not looking back, but he's just kind of like projecting his voice to you, and says, well, she's not a king, she's more of a general, and
Her whole
Yep,
thing's like
that's
Oh, okay. Well,
the whole deal.
that girl up there is horribly unprepared. 1 second, and I'll pick it up because my speed is 35 feet.
Hell yeah, perfect.
So I'll stop keeping pace with him. Like, I'll just be up there. She'll be upset or some. Well, just like you'll catch up, and I like pick up the pace.
As you are able to, you are definitely able to gain ground on Dora. Isadora, will you roll me another Constitution check?
Mm-hmm. Just a Constitution check, or they're the same actually. My saving throw and my check are the same. 12.
12. Perfect. Yeah, prior to coming into this outcropping, you've been running for a while now, and are definitely getting tired, but you're able to sort of just keep pace and just keep running. You can still hear everything behind you. You did not clock Rain or Juan or Worthy at all as you ran through, and you hear something gaining ground on you, getting close.
Isadora thinks about all the training that Rogelio has forced her to do, and is very grateful at this moment, and just says, "Morning, Lord, help me," and turns around and casts Word of Radiance, and basically anything within I think 5 feet of her has to make a Constitution saving throw to not take radiant damage.
Cool. You got really quiet on your audio.
Is this better?
Yep.
Okay. So she cast Word of Radiance.
Perfect. And you said it was a con save?
Yes. DC 12.
Cool. All right. Is
that me?
Oh, I still have...
Are you within 5 feet of her?
Am I within 5 feet?
She was running for a while before you took off after her.
Okay. So no.
But I will... Oh, that's a good question. How do I want to do this? Is Word of Radiance a cantrip or a spell?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, okay, a cantrip. Then in that case, yeah, we'll say that Rain is not yet within 5 feet of you as you turn around and cast Word of Radiance. Can you describe it for us?
Yes, I'm just adjusting my mic. Is it better now?
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
It's better. It's definitely not the same as it was earlier.
How about now?
There it is.
Yes, for some reason Zoom decided to turn me down. Rude.
Very.
Sorry, so you were saying that I cast Spare the Dying, Rain is not anywhere near me. Do I see them?
Yeah, it was Word of Radiance, not Spare the Dying, just for your
Did I say Spare the Dying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're good. Yeah, can you describe for us what Word of Radiance looks like as you cast it?
Yeah, so clutched to her chest is her religious tome. Like, again, it's in a metal casing. This is basically her version of a shield. And so she's got that clutched to herself, and she turns around to face the Shamblers, because at this point she's exhausted, and they're going to catch up with her eventually. And says her prayer that she had just said, and turns around, and just light bursts from her, centering from the book, but just like envelops her like an aura.
Okay.
So it's just like this shining, like from her tiara to her book, just.
The light coming out of your book is so close to you. You're not able to see Rain past it as you turn around and cast this. Rain, what do you do as Isadora turns around and this very bright, radiant light sort of like engulfs the area in front of you?
Okay, sweetie, you're gonna have to aim next time you shoot something. I just shout as I keep running.
Hey, I wasn't. Rain?
Yeah, hey, is your Rogelio or your dad around here? Is this something? Did my mom not pay a bill?
What? And she just bursts into tears.
Okay. Right. So there is still a bunch of undead chasing you. I don't know if you were aware that you were running and screaming. But we can't really do this here. There's some people that'll catch up that maybe you can do it wherever they'll take you.
Okay.
You're sure this isn't something to do with your dad?
Daddy, I haven't seen Daddy or Rogelio anywhere.
This feels like something to do with your dad, but okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. He would never do this to me.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, of course, no. You, for sure not.
And then running.
Yeah, I think like as you get to that pause in the conversation, you see Juan and Worthy just like overtake you, like run past you, still running.
Those are those people I was telling you about. Come on, keep up.
She does her best to keep up.
Excellent. With that, we'll cut over to Jubilee and Rogelio in the square. Rogelio, Jubilee has just burst out of a window, cut down two zombies that you had previously thought slain with green flame blade. And yeah, that is our scene setting. You're muted.
So I am. I imagine I just pull the mask off. I'm just sweating underneath. This has been like probably my biggest exertion, physically in quite some time. And I'm like, oh, thanks for the assist there, kid. And I started looking for the cupcakes, just trying to find them.
Yeah,
they're not far.
Julie puts the short swords back and old finger gun. Like,
yes.
Also, just so we know, I'm of a legal age. I'm just putting it out there, so like just that we're all aware. Putting in. What are you looking for? Oh, the kids. I should go check on the kids.
Kids.
Hi. Yeah. There were some kids in the building. I gave them a flower. I told them not to swear. I'm gonna go check on those. Are you like good? You're very old.
I am. I pick up the cupcakes. I said, I mean, where is this exactly? Because this isn't the gate.
Where are we?
I was walking out of a pastry shop. Then I ended up here.
Right. Okay. So I was at a party and I said, okay, don't go through those doors. You don't know where the doors lead. But I went through the doors and now I'm like in this place. There's some children. We should check on the children. Are those cupcakes?
Lemon with vanilla frosting. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll take one. Thank you.
I'm just, yeah. I find the one that's like been the least damaged from being thrown by that rude person. And I say, here you go. Yeah, my baker's just, we got to get the basics down before you can. But yeah, they're still great.
Sure. Also, can I have two more? So sorry to ask.
For the kids, of course. Yes,
Thank
of course.
You. Great. I'm going to check on the kids. You like, I guess stay alive. It's great. I don't know where we are, but wherever it is, it's wild. And then can I like
I'm try to stretch.
Yeah, you do that. Can I peek back through the window? Is that building still there?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Just, you all right? You want a cupcake?
You hold up the cupcake, and a little hand from like directly below the windowsill just kind of like reaches up and takes it.
It's like a cat under the door. Just
Exactly. And the older sister, the tiefling sister, she kind of like stands up in view, and she says, that was really cool.
Right? Oh my god, I know. Okay, so listen. Part one of breaking a window safely. Always use a safe tool. Like you know what? I actually don't know how to do this safely, but you and I, we're gonna work on it together. You still haven't told me your name. That's fine. Here, take a cupcake. I've got one too. And then she'll like force a cupcake. Cheers.
She takes it and she does the cheers, and then she kind of like eats it, and she like and she like hands it to her younger sister, who has already obliterated her cupcake. And the older sister, she says, I'm Viviana. If you ever need to break a window to escape the risen, it's best to wrap your hand in something like protective, and then just sort of bash it.
Oh, so you've done this before.
She nods.
Great. So I found there's a human gentleman out here. Is that, do you
she like perks up, and she actually like she takes Teta's hand and walks around through the door and comes out into the thing and looks extremely disappointed to see Rogelio.
Oh, same.
Oh, no, this is not our father.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
absolutely not.
Oh yeah, this is embarrassing. You know what? I made some assumptions. That's on me. I apologize. Kids, old man, kids, you do not know each other. I'm so sorry.
The kids introduce themselves. And from kind of like another street, there's a few streets kind of leading into this square. The man from before, Rogelio, who you saved, sort of comes like jogging back into this square, like he like looped around, and comes back in, and suddenly stands stark still when he sees you standing near his daughters. And he's holding like a it looks like really just like some like piece of wood, like a makeshift club, and he sort of like tensely is just like watching you. The club's not raised, but he has like a hand like tentatively like outstretched towards the girls, and when they see him, they both like just run straight to him.
Oh, well, this worked out so well. Old man, kids, old man, other old guy. Congratulations. Hi, I'm Juby. Where are we?
Where are you? You are in Lecco.
Not a real place.
This is fake. He looks at you strangely, and he doesn't seem to have any like. He's still tentative, but he doesn't necessarily seem to have any issue with you, Jubilee. He just keeps like his eyes on Rogelio. Rogelio, make a perception check.
Oh, classically bad at those. But okay.
As this perception check is happening, can I stage whisper, horrible stage whisper at Rogelio, whose name I still don't know? Give him a cupcake.
Him?
Yeah.
No. It's an 18.
Oh, an 18, perfect. Yeah, you notice that his eyes keep darting to like the red sash that you have, and then back to you. As he's sort of like, now that the girls are with him, he's like backing away, like back towards the street that he just came from.
You go, hey, my eyes are up here, buddy. Maybe keep it cool in front of your kids, but
he says, I don't know who you strange people are, and I don't care to learn. I have no time for Talon's or Vladeska's siege. And as he says Talons, he looks at your sash again.
What is a talon exactly? Other than
weird words.
Mm-hmm. Like on a bird?
Oh, birds, right.
Is a Talon. I do not have time for you strange people. And he picks both girls up into his arms and just takes off in the direction that he came from.
You're welcome, by the way.
Very rude. I mean,
as he's running, Teta, the human daughter, just waves goodbye to you both
right, see you
over
later.
his shoulder.
Stay safe.
I turned to Jubilee. Rogelio, by the way. I don't believe we've been properly introduced.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Hi, Jubilee, Juby, Auntie Juby, but not to you because that's weird. Okay, so it seems like you're not supposed to be here either.
You mentioned a party you were at before.
Right. Oh,
where
okay,
was that exactly?
Right. Yeah. It was at my friend's tavern. I was trying to get him to set up kind of a burlesque show, and he said no. So I said I'm going to do it anyway. And I ran to go get all of my things, as you do. And then I was here, and I was like, "What's going on? Did we change the back room up?" And there was no response, just the children and some dead guys.
Mm-hmm.
What? So I'm wondering, where were you at?
I was leaving a pastry shop in Baldur's Gate, and I'd kind of pull out a little piece of parchment or paper or something, and I just write something down. If you're ever looking to get this burlesque thing off the ground, I know someone who might help, and then just pass it over.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Just the name on there, it just says Sleeveless Randy. There's no other information.
Through the window, or just poke my head around to see this happening. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Is that Jubilee?
Oh my God, Lotus?
Yeah.
Lotus, honey, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
We were just talking about it,
Yeah. Did you see? And I sort of gestured to where the smoke was earlier. Did you see a bunch of smoke? That was me.
Oh, congratulations. Okay, wait, this is perfect because I was just talking about getting my burlesque show off the ground, and we need a first act. Also, have you seen a bunch of undead folks? Because they are not allowed at the show.
I meant. There was a boathouse. I was helping fish some out. Apparently, they're not good with fire, and if you get them in the head, seems to make it nice and easy. Also, are you guys hungry?
Oh, wait, I just had a great cupcake. Can we get another couple of rounds of great?
Oh, I have good berry. That way you don't have to worry about food for the rest of the day.
Well, I just like eating, but I'll take both.
Same.
Fair enough.
I'll also remind Lotus and Rogelio that Rogelio's very visibly badly injured.
Oh yeah, I'm probably still bleeding.
Do you need help?
Yeah, sorry about your wounds. That looks awful.
I just kind of touch the bite. I'm not trying to tend earlier, covered in a I don't know, like an ointment or a topical or something for this bite. It's not looking good.
I could probably dress it, but I'm not really a healer. But I could try to dress it if that helps.
I mean, my tailor will take care of that. He'll fix that up. I just need something for the bleeding.
No, that's it.
Do you want a match? Maybe a torch of some kind?
As all of you are discussing this, we cut briefly back to Rain and Isadora running through the street away from this horde, starting to wear on them, especially Dora. Isadora, make me another Constitution check.
She's not wearing the right shoes for this situation. That's an 18 this time.
Oh!
But Lady can pick it in them heels.
Yeah. You catch your second wind. You're able to really sort of like redouble your efforts.
The prayer worked.
You as you two are running, you overtake Juan and Worthy. The horde is like still in sight, but falling back a little bit. Not enough to be safe. Not enough to stop running, but they're falling back a bit. Rain, as you pass them and look back, you see Huanji and Worthy turn sharply down a different street.
Oh, those motherfuckers.
And before you're able to sort of like course correct or anything, you're already well down the street, and the horde kind of like still chasing you passes the street that they turned off on. Give me a perception check.
Me?
Yes, please.
Radical. Oh.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you don't notice any changes in the horde, just still running after you. There's enough of them, and like the street is like flat enough that you can't really see past like the first like 2 layers of undead. So you're not sure if they noticed Huanji and Worthy
Is there
breaking
like
off.
stuff in the streets? Like
The streets
a
are
strategic pile of boxes, or
yeah. There's definitely some stuff you can like pull down as you pass and things like that.
I think as we're running, I look down at my shell. I'm like, make yourself useful, and it forms into this like spectral hand and starts like knocking over crates as we're moving.
Excellent. Yeah. So as you're running, your shadow kind of pops up and starts like swatting things down. You see, or well, you probably don't see, but hear, like undead tumbling over it and falling to the ground, and the ones behind them like trying to climb up past them. As you Isadora, as you're running, you have your second wind. You feel that burst of energy. You really like grab it and you run more spiritedly. You look back as you hear this clatter of things, as Rain's shadow is like swatting stuff into the street. And when you turn back, you run smack dab into Rogelio.
Rogelio!
Princess, where did you come from, and why are you? Is this something to do with your? Never mind.
She's sweating. There's like tear stains down the front of her face. Oh man, cupcakes? We don't have time for this. We gotta run.
I run and like jump.
Oh, and when she runs into him, she sees his wounds and immediately casts Cure Wounds.
Nice.
And of that.
I'll roll for that. Oh, fuck. 2 points of healing.
2 points of healing.
There you go.
She's too distressed.
Lotus, how many good berries did you give Rogelio?
Oh, I was gonna ask if ever I had not summoned them yet. I was waiting to see if everyone wanted good berries first, or if everyone's content with cupcakes.
Take one.
Juby is always content with cupcakes and not currently wounded, so.
I would take a few and probably put them on a cupcake and then eat it.
Yeah, however many good berries you eat up to the spell makes 10, heals you for 1 HP each.
I could use 10.
It's up to Lotus, but yeah.
All right, there's 5 of us in this room. Was there anyone else we knew who needed good berries right now?
You hear
I run and jump
Maybe
over
later.
Rohilio and Isadora. Hey,
Mhm.
great to see you. I don't know any of. I know. I just keep running.
It was that.
It was rain. We gotta run.
It's fine.
I shot back, zombies.
We need the rest of the cupcakes later, and I just run.
Oh, well, we were doing fine with them. I don't know if you saw. I killed 2 of them. So.
Yeah, I might actually use this to do another seared smite again
Okay, yeah.
instead of the good berry.
As Rain runs by and Dora's like pulling Rogelio along, Juby, you turn back to me like, I took down 2, and you see just kind of like a wall of undead running towards you. Lotus, you see this as well. But you also notice that the various like debris and crates and such that Rain's shadow has been pulling down as she was running. It looks like pretty good tinder.
Everyone stand back and make sure to get low just in case the smoke goes a little high. And yeah, I will do Searing Smite and make an attack action at somebody. Just whoever, not leader of the pack, maybe like a little bit behind, so spreads properly. Just roll the hit.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, hits.
Perfect. So I'll roll all the fun little damage things real quick too.
Nice.
That okay, but that one didn't show me.
Okay, there we go.
Righty. Okay.
Cool.
So,
perfect.
Yeah, 6 piercing, 3 fire.
The fire like lights up one of them and kind of immediately starts spreading, catching on the various debris on the ground and everything. As the horde keeps running through these flames like they did in the boathouse. Jubilee, you have an action before they're on you, if there's anything else you want to do. And that fire of lotuses looks like it's very effective.
Yeah, Juby's gonna like just close that space and get like, fuck yes, this is my favorite sort of thing. Stand back, everybody, watch. And she's gonna just do the same exact thing she did before.
Okay.
Yep. Ooh. Well, you know what? It would be nice if she cast Mage Armor, but we're diving in. That's why we have reactions. So same thing. Both short swords, green flame blade. Let us roll to hit. Where's my short sword? Got it. I will take it.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Go ahead and roll damage.
Well. 7 and then +3 for the green flame blade damage.
Yeah, you two like in Aliens with just flamethrowers, just start like spreading this fire. It mixes like the green flame and the natural flame start mixing into whatever color you get when you mix orange and green, starts kind of like lighting up this street again. The horde is just running into it with no like care for their preservation, and they just sort of like burn and crumple. And you are able to sort of like back away, let some of them come in. Those that get too far, you're able to just sort of easily like cut down the both of you. And eventually things quiet down, and you get the impression that whatever undead may still be on the other side of those flames have now just sort of like wandered off. The frenzy having died down, the fire is still burning and starting to spread, but again, the walls and street are all like stone. So mostly just like a lot of smoke and charring as the five of you now are in this in the same square that we first saw Rogelio and Jubilee.
Can I? Sorry.
Go.
I was gonna say using this fire as like a silhouette. Juby turns and like tosses her hair over her shoulder like a Charlie's Angel situation, and looks at Lotus and is like, okay, so like remind me, why did we ever just go our separate ways? Because that was what are you doing when we got out of here?
Honestly, just kind of adventuring again.
Yeah, I could do some adventuring.
Yeah, I just like to go places.
Oh, I can take you places. This is great, wonderful. Hi, everyone else. Greetings, I'm Juby.
Lotus, you hear Scary's voice in your mind just say, spicy.
Rain kind of comes back. All right, Rogelio, is this something to do with her dad? Are you sure?
Not that I'm aware of.
Why would Daddy do this to anybody? I don't understand why you keep bringing up Daddy.
I really wish you hadn't taught our thieves can't, because now we can never talk in private.
Isadora, two things. One, rule number 5, don't play with fire. We're crossing that one out until I say so. And earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
And then I go, she still doesn't know. Okay.
Why doesn't she know? She's an adult.
It's easier for everyone if she just still thinks she's a prince. Can we just...
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
I just wait. I'm like, okay. Thank you, dear.
So you two, let me point it.
Interested? Hi, Jubilee. Great to meet you. Do any of you know where we are? Because you've seen, like, I've met your friend, old man here. It seems like you have some sort of a past. I'm very confused. This is Lotus. Me. Hi. Hello.
I don't know, but Lathander told me it was very dangerous, and now we're here, and I don't know. I don't know anything.
Lathander told you? When
Yes.
was this? Like, Morning Lord brings the sun every day.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Hi, we're in Falkovnia. Just remembered I knew that. Oops.
Are you from here then?
No.
I've never heard of this place.
Perfect.
Is that a new neighborhood of Waterdeep? Because I'm not familiar myself.
We were in Baldur's Gate.
I was on a toll road, so I woke up on a roof.
Oh, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean it does happen, but I hadn't even had anything to eat yet, so that's pretty rare for me.
Have cupcakes.
Oh, yes, I would love one.
Rogelio, you know
Cupcakes.
I don't eat cupcakes.
People change.
Isadora sees that they are a little bit crumpled and kind of pouts a little bit as she, like, takes the wrapper off of one and starts eating it.
Leo like fiddles something in his jacket and pulls out this flask with like his wolf emblem on it and just this is gonna be a day. Just
So,
sit back.
I did meet 2 people from here named Wanji and Worthy. There's some general, their whole thing's this undead army. It feels like we got roped into someone's quest. I didn't sign up for a quest. I don't know if one of you signed up for a quest.
That's outside of mine.
But
No.
I mean, I don't say no to a quest, if you know what I mean. Do you know
we
what
should talk.
It's an innuendo?
No, I do know what you mean. and
great.
we should
Okay,
definitely
good.
talk,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I'm
I'll-
Spanish.
Rogelio, what are they talking about?
Oh, okay. So an innuendo is like
I look you. No. She's not grown yet.
Oh.
She's only. I know she looks like an adult, but she's an elf. She's only like 40. She's like 10.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's a song.
No, I know what an innuendo is. I just didn't understand what you were talking about.
Songs. Music.
Right.
Hard stuff.
That's a
Great at playing the
crescendo.
bass.
That's not... innuendo and crescendo don't mean the same thing.
I mean, if you're doing it right.
Anyhow, there's some general with a bunch of zombies, and I'm sure we have to kill the zombies, and then some fuckface god will send us home.
I don't love that for us. I'll be
I
honest. I
don't
have dinner
either.
plans.
I would love dinner plans. That's why I would love to talk with you more, Jubilee.
You want to? Oh, wonderful. Okay, I was going to ask if you want a cupcake, but well, maybe we'll.
I mean,
discuss.
I can call you whatever you want.
Excellent, great list. I do have a list of can'ts, won'ts, and please do's. So we'll.
This is the crescendo.
I think at that point is when Rain like pops her vampire fangs.
You all see as Rain reveals her sharp vampire fangs.
I'm just like really hungry.
Okay,
yeah,
so a
sharp
cupcake
teeth
won't
too.
do it.
And just show like cat teeth.
Sharp capping.
Yeah, no, those are lovely. Do you file them?
Not really. On occasion.
Okay.
I could file them more.
I mean, they look great. But
Thank
you know
thank
what?
The claws are really my highlight.
We should like not be out, just like outside, right?
Oh, because of the dead.
Probably not.
Lotus, give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Whew. That's a 22.
Ooh,
Holy
really good at
shit.
seeing stuff.
I'm a ranger.
Your cat ears kind of like flick as far away, but perhaps rapidly approaching. You hear the sound, not of the undead, but of clanking armor and hoofbeats on stone, approaching you at a gallop. More than one horse.
It sounds like a lot of people are coming. I'm gonna climb up because I do have a climbing speed, to get a better vantage point.
Excellent.
I would join if I see Lotus start climbing to help.
Yeah, the two of you climb up the nearest, tallest building onto yet another kind of like shingled roof like before. And you rise up over it. You can see the distance, the spread of the city of Lecker. You see the city stretches out quite a ways east, and a little ways south, and it's about like midday-ish, or at least approaching it, and much of like the overcast has spread a bit, thinned perhaps, and you see in the distance mountains, old growth forest, temperate. This is no landscape any of you have ever seen, or either of you rather have ever seen. And as the camera sort of like pulls up, watching the two of you taking in this view, you are able to see that down in the streets, they're not nearly as cramped or as winding as something like Baldur's Gate, but it's hard to sort of like triangulate where all this sound is coming from. But from south of your location, heading towards you, you hear probably 6 or 7 horses carrying armored soldiers, and they are riding in your direction. You're able to discern that they aren't necessarily riding for you so much as the smoke from all the fire. And they're rapidly approaching on horseback. And standing up there, looking out across the city, you're able to get a glimpse of this group as it approaches you, and riding at the forefront of it, on the largest horse you have ever seen in your life. Roughly so it would be 18 hands high, because you measure horses in hands, but that comes out to about 6 feet tall at the back, not counting the neck. Yes, like Ganondorf's horse, exactly. All pitch black, solid black all the way through its coat. You though you haven't seen a horse this size, you would immediately recognize it as a very kind of sought after type of war horse, a destrier. And on it is a woman with long red hair, with a leather kind of small a leather twist headband, just on her head, in kind of boiled reinforced leather armor with no sleeves, just massive ripped arms, and leading these I would say 6 soldiers on just horses. Those ones are just horses, in your direction. And as the two of you see this, we will wrap up our episode. So that was the premiere of Besieged by the Dead.
We gotta kill. She's hot.
Join in the party.
Yeah, so that's us. Is there any specific wrap up you would like us to do, Nikki?
Everyone could do their plugs again. So
perfect. In that case, I will start us off. Thank you so much for joining us today with Besieged by the Dead. I hope you will tune in next Saturday as we find out more about the realm of Falkovnia, the city of Lecker, this unknown general, and the plot to assassinate her. My name is Ellis. I use he, they pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Heckvetica. I'm a writer, designer, and editor of TTRPGs. And it has been my great pleasure to DM for all of you today. And I will kick it off to Miguel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miguel. Pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miguel_Clasico. I'm always looking to do more stuff, so if you got streams, greens, tomatoes, you name it, I'm there. I will happily join in. That's me.
Awesome. And Izzy.
Hi, I'm Izzy. She, they. You can find me here on Saturdays for a couple weeks, or Wednesdays on Pod Against the Machine, which is a podcast. And then various streams that happen. I don't know. I'll tweet about them maybe if I don't forget. On Twitter, which is a website on which I can be found at Z_mist with a Y, because I am fancy. That's all I got.
Awesome. What about Austin?
Hey, what's up? I'm Austin. You can find me on Twitter at Sailor Scott Austin. That's at Sailor SCT Austin. Every Monday-ish, you can find me on the Friends Rule Dice channel playing Mind and the Martyr at 9 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday, you can find me on my podcast, Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries, at Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries, wherever you get podcasts. Also, I write and design games and whatever. The most recent game I did stuff for that is out now is Brinkwood, Blood of Tyrants. So you can get that right now on Drive Through RPG, get your digital copy. And physical copies, I'm told, are being sent out to backers as I speak.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. And Dare.
Hi. If you liked me recommend checking me out on Twitter and TikTok at NBDare. That is ENBYDARE. I do too much online at all times. If you happen to like dice, I'd recommend checking out my friends at dieharddice.com. You keep hearing that. That's the sound of a solid metal dire D20. So they're great for rolling. And use the promo code DARE for 15% off because we're doing the fun holiday sale stuff. If you still have liked hearing me talk all day today, I'd recommend checking me out on RF Chaos in like 3 hours, where I'll be playing Masks. And I will be on Transplanter RPG Tuesday for the finale of the Hounds of Mercy miniseries, which has been a delight and truly, truly one of the coolest experiences I've done in a hot minute. But that's it for me today.
That's awesome. Cool. And Nikki, take us away.
I am Nikki. I use she, her pronouns. I am co-creator here at TTRPG. I am on Weave the Tale on Fridays. We're about to wrap up our Chew tabletop role-playing game, which just ended its Kickstarter. And coming up in December, we will be having The Between, which is really exciting. It's a Penny Dreadful-based TTRPG with a really great crew. And the last Sunday of every month at 2 p.m. Pacific, you can catch our talk show where we have 2 TTRPG talk guests and a musical guest on every episode. And it's super fun. But yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.